My story begins when they find the basement, which is where I live. The house always feels hollow and empty before they arrive, but their footsteps above are a promise of what's to come. This time, it was the Miller family. I could hear their laughter, and the sounds of moving boxes echo through the floorboards. The man, David Miller, was the first to get curious. Within a week, I felt his heavy steps approach the poorly hidden door in the back hallway. He pushed it open, a slight creak breaking the silence. A wave of cool, earthy air washed over him as he peered into the darkness below. His wife, Susan, called his name from the kitchen. He glanced back, a flicker of hesitation on his face. "Just checking out the basement, hon," he called back, his voice a little too cheerful. He then turned and started down the rickety wooden stairs. At the bottom, he was plunged into near-total blackness. The smell of damp earth and decay filled his nostrils. He fumbled along the wall, his hand patting blindly for a light switch. His fingers brushed against cobwebs and rough, splintered wood. After a moment, his fingers found the beaded string. He gave it a tug. A single bare bulb flickered to life, casting a weak yellow glow over the room. It was just enough light to see the old wooden furniture covered in white sheets. David took a slow step forward, his shoes crunching softly on the dirt floor. He never thought to question why a basement would have walls of wood and a floor of earth. He wouldn't see the figure at first, not until he tripped. His foot caught on an uplifted root, and he fell hard, landing on his hands and knees. The sharp scent of his own blood filled the air, but David didn't get up. His eyes, wide with shock, were already fixed on the far wall. He was staring at Recluse. Recluse has been here for many years, long before me, and long before my mother's mother. The creature resembles a man in form, with 2 legs and 2 arms, but its skin is rough brown bark. We are related, in a way. Behind him is a vast, intricate web, woven by countless generations. To the naked eye, you cannot see the hundreds of us, my kin, tending to our invulnerable toil. The fear radiating from David was a palpable thing. Goosebumps erupted on his skin. He was so paralyzed by fear, he couldn't feel my younglings crawling up his legs. They moved politely, marching up his pants and onto his skin. They marched through his ear canals, moving toward his eardrum, which they would consume slowly. Every bite releases a nanometer of poison into his system. A moment later, David shakily rose to his feet. He seemed dazed, unsure of what he'd just experienced. The poison was already at work, damaging his optic nerves. When he looked at Recluse again, he no longer saw a terrifying figure. To him, it was just a bad case of black mold. He coughed, his mind now focused only on escape. He stumbled hastily toward the stairs, desperate to get out of the damp, lifeless burrow. He slammed the basement door shut, the sound echoing through the house. I heard him shout to his wife. "Stay out of the basement, Susan," he yelled, his voice strained. "It's full of invasive black mold. No one goes down there." Susan stood in the hallway, her expression a mix of confusion and concern for her husband. Their young daughter, Lily, peeked out from behind her mother's legs. In a week, his brain matter would be gone. His organs would be liquefied, and all the blood drained from his body. He would be eaten from the inside out. His entire existence erased in such a short amount of time, just like Recluse was. Recluse was once a man like David, but his skin was brown, and people who looked like David hated that. He had a family. They were hunted, and they died together, while he was tortured in this very basement. We were here for that. We watched them stab him, and when he fell, they took 2 wooden stakes they had carved. They rammed the stakes into his chest, pinning him to the earth where he would remain for all time. They cut out his tongue and carved out his eyes. Then they laughed and left him in the darkness. We watched for any sign of life. We waited. Then a man with a shovel came and threw dirt over him, burying him where he lay, a trophy for the homeowner. And then the sufferer became the Recluse. His body stiffened, his wounds grew bark, and plants grew from his flesh. His empty eye sockets became nesting grounds for our children. He became what we are. He is what we kill for. 3 days later, David Miller passed away around midnight. He was in his bed next to his wife. He never heard us eating away at his insides. He never screamed, as the poison had swollen his tongue, blocking his airway. Then we come, the bigger ones. We emerge from the shadows of the room. We eat the flesh, the muscle, the nerves. We eat everything but the bones. Then we eat his family. By morning, the man with the shovel arrives. He is older now, his face weathered by time and secrets. His name is Silas, and this is his routine. He enters the house with his own key. He goes to the master bedroom and finds only a perfect, clean skeleton lying on the sheets. He calmly collects the bones, placing them in a heavy canvas bag. He does the same in the child's room. He carries the remains to the river that flows behind the property and discards them in the current. Then he cleans the house from top to bottom, erasing every trace that the Millers ever existed. Finally, he walks to the road and pounds a new "For Sale" sign into the soft earth by the driveway. The cycle is complete. In a month, or maybe 2, a new family will come. They will hate us for what we are and kill us for what we look like. They will think they own something that was never theirs. They will break into our environment and show it the worst kind of murder. They will assume the basement is something they own, but they will never think that the things they own will kill them.